Hello my lovers of Assassin's Creed 3, my name is Nick Pell, and this is once again coming from my white room. I am on spring break right now, so that is why this is not being filmed at college. Just a quick note, there might be spoilers in this review, so keep that in mind. I will probably do a video at the, a part at the end where I talk about the ending of the DLC, but yeah, so stay tuned for that. So this is the review for Assassin's Creed 3, The Tyranny of King Washington, The Betrayal, part 2 in this trilogy. So yeah, let's get right down into it. With the story, it starts off with Connor in a prison. He's been taken by Putnam. It takes place essentially right after the events of the infamy, and we get to see Washington, we see Putnam, we see Benjamin Franklin. Now at the end of the infamy, Benedict Arnold, as he was being killed, he told Connor to free Franklin because he knew that he would be an asset. And so that is essentially the main focus of the first part of this game. Second part is kind of getting the second revolution kind of underway, with the help of Sam Adams and one of Connor's native friends who I don't know the name of. I'm not going to risk mispronouncing. And yeah, I felt like Connor was he was more of the same character as we saw in AC3. Wasn't like, if you saw my last review, you saw that I thought that at the end of the infamy, Connor had kind of a god complex. He thought that he was invincible because he had this willpower, while in reality he wasn't this all-powerful person. But I didn't like seeing Connor kind of shift from this very modest person who wants to do the right thing to being kind of this power-hungry person who might reflect Washington at the end of the game. But right away we see Connor gets a new power, and it is the power of the eagle. He's able to fly to various parts of an area at his will, and he gets this ability very quickly, like within the first hour of the game. And the sequence for it is a little bit frustrating, but it's quicker, I thought, than the wolf one. Washington is still a very evil person, and you have to fight him again at one point. I'm not going to say when, but it's a very cool sequence, and it wasn't one I was really expecting. Putnam is also a very big evil person, and you see this towards the end. He just does something horrible, and it's very, very interesting to see. So that's the story. I don't want to go too much into it. I'll be talking about it towards the end of the review after the credits, so stay tuned to that if you are interested. Yeah, getting on to graphics. Graphics are about the same. They don't really differentiate at all, and from AC3 or from the Infamy, they're all kind of the same type of thing. So graphics are as good as usual. Now with gameplay isn't really modified too much. You still have your wolf power, which is nice. Now, like I said, you have the power of the eagle. You can choose to fly to certain locations. You can attack in eagle form. You can take out just two guys swooping in. Yeah, unless I'm forgetting something, that is about all that you can really do. You can't really just go solo and fly around at your own ease, which would have been kind of cool, and it would have been a much quicker way of getting around. But just the fact that you can basically teleport yourself from one place to another place to another place to another place, it does make traveling around the city much simpler, and I find myself using it immensely instead of just having to run around or run across a roof or something like that. It made traveling much simpler. Gameplay wise, it doesn't really change too much. There are 3 lucid memories that you can find in Boston. That's the main setting for this one. And then there are treasures around as well. Having just extra items that you might need, might not. I usually don't. And then also 1 or 2 new weapons that you can use at your own free will. Nothing too immensely exciting in this one in terms of new gameplay features, but let me get to the enjoyment part. Now, I did enjoy this part of the DLC much more than the Infamy. I felt that it was much darker, and I usually enjoy the darker stuff more than the bright and happy stuff. And if you've played it, you'll understand why it's much darker than the first one. And it just felt more action-packed. It had a much better story. It just had stuff moving at a much better pace. But that has happened to me before with trilogies. It's like I'll love the second book or the middle book in the series, Hunger Games, Song of Ice and Fire, Millennium Trilogy, Walking Dead, anything that has about the middle book I love the most, and then the finale kind of disappoints me. I don't enjoy it as much. I'm really hoping that that is not the case with this one. And we get to see some epic climax between Washington and Connor, which I'm assuming will happen, because Connor will have the power of the bear in the next one, which I don't know what that'll do, but I'm assuming it gives him the ability to kind of fight through Washington's kind of defense system. Well, I don't know for sure though. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. So yeah, that's my review. Like, favorite, comment, and subscribe if you so choose. I'd appreciate that. I would appreciate that immensely. And yeah, like I said before, stay tuned to the end of the review after the credits if you want to see my take on the ending of the DLC. Yeah, so we'll see you possibly in about 15 seconds. As always, my name is Nick Pell, and once again, my good people, keep on gaming. Okay, so if you are still watching, you are here to watch my take on the ending of the Betrayal. And I just want to mention right now the scene where Putnam basically massacres Samuel Adams is just brutal. I was not expecting them to really go that far with it, but just the whole scene is very sad. It's much worse than I think there was anything in the original AC3 game that I can think of. So yeah, that's just one thing I wanted to mention. With the ending, when you have a mission called Unchaining the Aquila, you get me very excited because I loved naval battles in AC3. It's my favorite thing to do. I got really good at it. And when you have that, you get me excited because you think that, because I thought that the final mission was going to be some big epic battle with Putnam or someone, and then you'd have to like take a ship and go and assassinate him on the ship or something. Nope. You free the ship, and then the last mission is basically everyone kind of running to the ship and to kind of protect them as that is happening. So yeah, that was kind of disappointing. It was a very cool ending sequence for how you assassinate Putnam though, and I'm kind of curious how many people just tried to run at him and failed when you were supposed to use the ego power, because I didn't. I just used the ego power right away, because I was like, there has to be a reason why I have the ego power. So yeah, last mission, kind of weak. No, it was a very good story overall, I thought. I did feel like there was an immense amount of enemies everywhere that you went. I don't like that you can't be anonymous in Boston, because essentially everyone is going to attack you if they see you, and that pissed me off to no end, because I would always have people chasing me, and then I have to fight half the time and I'm dying, and it's just not good. And it frustrated me when I was trying to do little things like get a treasure chest or save someone or whatever, or do a mission, because the mission right after you get out of the pub and you beat up everyone, right before I had done that, I had gotten seen by someone just as I was entering the pub, and so I went in to the pub, and it just automatically failed me because I got detected too soon or something like that. It was really stupid. So yeah, so yeah, I think that's it. If you want to know my thoughts on any other parts of the DLC, comment below, let me know, or just message me or anything like that. And yeah, like, favorite, comment, and subscribe if you so choose. I would appreciate that immensely. I will be doing a similar review like this for the final part of the trilogy called The Redemption, I think, and that'll be late April. So Yeah. As always, my good people, my name is Nick Pell, and once again, keep on gaming.